It was probably the single most important thing I've done in probably my entire life, with just the scope of everything I got to cover and sense of importance of it all. It was heaven, yeah. I was able to be in the chamber when President Obama spoke to joint session of Congress, and afterwards I interviewed about 20 senators face to face. And Democrat and Republican, some were really happy. Republicans, yelled at me. It was great. Politics has always been something I've been very interested in, and to be able to be right there and then go home and see yourself on CNN in the crowd behind, like Dana Bash on CNN every day was great. It's as glamorous as it sounds for me. You are unpaid. You work well over 40 hours a week for no pay, but the scope of what you get to do is it was worth it to me. I hope it's worth it to other people, but the experiences that you get and the experience that you get as a result are invaluable. You got to have an interest and a passion for politics. First off, I met a lot of fellow interns that they sat in the office all day because they didn't really know what was going on. They just went to go, and it didn't turn out too well for them. After a while, they learned that they needed to know what was going on at all times in DC. It's just a very high-paced environment. I probably got maybe 5 or 6 hours of sleep a night because I always needed to be knowing what was going on, maybe finishing up a story for the next day. And even weekends, you don't get guaranteed weekends as a journalist in DC. Probably half the weekends I spent covering something. After I graduate, I'd like to go back to Washington, DC and either continue with the journalism profession, or possibly work in Congress as a staffer or an advisor or something along those lines. The biggest difference from living in Albuquerque would be the cost of living and price of just everything in general. I paid probably upwards of double what I was used to paying here. My first grocery bill was over $100, and that was for a week of food. So, and I lived on it's not like I splurged. I lived on Hot Pockets and ramen and drank water and Kool-Aid. So